mentioned the month and a half of rehearsal, which strikes me as extremely unusual for Hollywood film these days. And I'm wondering what did that month and a half consist of, and is that something you've done in your previous films?
Was it a month and a half?
Sorry, yeah, I said a month and a half. I just wanted to clarify. We had about 3 weeks of rehearsal. I had a month and a half before we started shooting. That I was just talking about my own, my personal preparation.
Yeah, we did about 3 weeks, and most of those 3 weeks were not, like let's tape out on the floor. So there'll be a bed here, and there'll be a pillow over here, and there'll be a lamp. We didn't really do that at all. It was more like
We never got it off the table.
it was kind of like, well, what does he mean when he says this, and why is he saying it now, and what exactly. What's your intention, and is that the best way to, is that the best way for this person at this moment to? So it was really about just tearing at the fabric of the text and saying, I understand that this is now, or this chronologically happens here on the page. Is it better being a line earlier or a line later? Just, asking those questions. And Sorkinese, as I like to refer to it, is really not about it. It's a different kind of way of communicating, because in a lot of cases these are characters who are thinking aloud, and so you need to know kind of from whence they are, what inspired them to kind of get on this role. I like to describe it as, it's not a character presenting a wall of bricks. It's like a character with a dump truck dumping a ton of bricks in the audience's lap. It's like a lot of this, the notion of, and what made these guys special, and what made it obvious that there was no one else to play these roles, was you could see that they could talk about 1, 2, 3 things simultaneously and be thinking about a fourth and a fifth, and that's what it required to make it. So the rehearsal time was really mostly about how do we dovetail all these words.
I wanted to ask Jesse and Justin, what were the challenges in playing characters that people may think are big assholes? And also for Justin, have you given up singing? Are you going to be singing with Yogi Bear this December? Is acting your whole thing now?
I was hoping you were going to ask me about Yogi Bear. I'm glad that we just can get that out of the way with the first question. Did you want to... Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's impossible to play a role and to kind of look at it, and not only in the way that you described, but look at it objectively at all. Because, I had the kind of unique position to, my main responsibility was to not only understand where my character was coming from, but be able to defend all of his positions and his behavior, and ultimately sympathize with him. And over the course of the movie, and really over the course of this kind of publicity experience, I've developed an even greater affection for my character. You have no choice. I mean, it's impossible to disagree with a character that you're portraying. We shot the movie for about 5.5 months, and they're very long days, and you're spending a lot of time working hard to defend your character's behavior. So even if the character is, acting in a way that hurts other characters, you still have to understand and, ultimately sympathize with all of that behavior. It's just impossible to play it any other way.
Just to add to what Jesse said, I think it's fundamentally the same application for myself. It became clear to me after my first reading of the script that there was going to be the version of this person, my character, in the film, that he wasn't sort of the hero, so to speak. But no one sits behind, I'm not, you never play anything sitting behind a laptop, twirling your mustache. I think that, like Jesse said, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this film to me, just that you really get to pick sort of who you side with. And I had a friend who recently screened the film and said to me, I thought was one of the really telling things as soon as we walked out. He said, I don't agree with anyone in this movie, but I don't disagree with anyone in this movie. Speaking about all the characters, and I think that's what kind of makes the dynamic of these three characters tick. But I feel like, you know, you defend your character. No one believes that what they're doing is wrong in life, and so I feel like
Yeah, I also,
you attack it that way.